Karl Wallenda was born on the 21st of January 1905 in Magdeburg, Germany, to a circus-performing family. By the age of 6, he was on the high wire and quickly established himself as one of the best. Crowds started flocking to watch Karl risk his life, dancing on the high wire, always without a safety net. Karl revolutionized the act, incorporating headstands and even a high-wire group comprised of family members that became known as the Flying Wallendas. With a growing international fame, Karl continued to pioneer and push the boundaries, creating a three-man pyramid with 2 bicycles and a chair. This wasn't enough for Karl, who at the height of success in the 1950s created the group's most dangerous and subsequently famed act, the 7-man pyramid. But it was while performing this act in Detroit in 1962 that tragedy struck. The pyramid collapsed, killing Karl's cousin Dieter Schepp, brother-in-law Dick Fawnin, and paralyzing his own son, Mario. That tragedy would have been enough to make any performer retire, and at the age of 57, Karl had even more of a reason to do so.
Now people ask me why. I give the answer. I say, why we live. We have to survive. We have to exist. That's the main thing in our life. You have to do the job, no matter what it is. Anybody has to go back to his job. After all, that's his existence, his life.
Perhaps it was a debt to his family that had lost their lives, his ambitious showmanship, or simply his 51-year devotion to the wire. Whatever it was, Karl got back on his feet and carried on, conquering even more ambitious and dangerous walks, including the Cleveland Stadium, London Bridge, Veterans Stadium, Atlanta Stadium, and Tallulah Gorge in front of 30,000 fans.
Being 62 years of age, Karl, does that have anything to do with losing some of your nerve? Do you feel a little shaky sometimes?
No, absolutely not.
In his 60s and 70s, when most people would be slowing down, Karl was speeding up, driven by his passion, unable to see life without his beloved wire.
What do you think about when you're up there on the wire? Do you have to concentrate?
No, I think we only think about we want to make the people happy. We want to be good.
Are you ever afraid?
Well, afraid, not tense. What you call afraid, I never would be afraid. I never would go up there if I was afraid. But tense, you fear, you have sometimes that feeling, you know, what can happen, you know.
The most celebrated name in show business, the Flying Wallenda.
Inspired by Karl, the Wallendas continued to perform, and his creations are still the basis for their acts. In 2012, Karl's great-grandson, Nick Wallenda, became the first person to tightrope across the entire width of Niagara Falls, a feat that Karl had planned himself more than half a century before. The legacy Karl created lives on, stronger than ever, in any tightrope walker that dares to risk his life out on the wire.
You better drink your martini.
Oh, yes, that's my favorite thing, you know.
Ciao.
Ciao.